All right, hey! Welcome back to the Talkbots episode 4. Give a dog a bone. Last week we were doing some crazy stuff with Houston Fitzgerald, and this week we're going to be doing a little bit different. So this is my co-host Lubot.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Louie, also known as Loopbot. Welcome back to the show. Welcome back.
And today we have Beth. She is a dog trainer. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Well, it's time for my fuck up of the night, guys. I figured out what I did wrong today.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
God. What'd you do?
It's not as bad as previous episodes, okay? It's not as bad. The starting suit, the jazz music was still playing.
So we've
Oh.
just been bumping to jazz music this whole
The whole
time.
time we were having this discussion, we were bumping jazz music. I apologize. At least it wasn't like previous episodes where I just forgot to record the audio. So we're a little bit better off today, guys. We're on a roll. So I do want to ask, what are some do's and don'ts when it comes to dog owning?
Dog owning. Okay. One of the first things I can tell you is that socializing isn't letting your dog run up to everyone and thing.
Ooh.
Everyone thinks that socializing is allowing your dog to openly engage with everybody, to be petted by everybody, to engage with every single dog, and that is not what it is. Socialization
Nope.
is teaching that the world isn't all that exciting, and that the most exciting thing that they should be excited about and paying to is you.
Mm-hmm.
This keeps them
Holy
from jumping
shit.
on the leash, keeps them from barking at strange people, strange dogs, because they don't care about them.
That's
They've already
interesting.
exposed that. It's
Right,
not scary.
they're not going to take care of your dog. You are going to take care of your dog. It's like when I have kids, and when I teach my kids, obviously don't talk to strangers. Do you, I mean, everyone has to eventually when you get older, but you learn that as you go as a kid. But dogs are obviously similar, at least in a social sense, because there's a lot of behavioral things that, like you said, that come with it. Like you're not going to be barking at every other dog or every other person that you see. So that's very interesting. What are some other like do's and don'ts that I wanted to get a few of them out.
Okay, one of the best things that you can do for them is to desensitize them to grooming as early as you can. So as soon as you get your puppy, start working on cutting their nails. You hear a lot about people can't do their nails. So their nails, you should be introducing nails to puppies as soon as you can. It will
Yep.
make trying to clip them when they're bigger and older a lot easier.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of times, believe it or not,
Huh?
the feeding amount that they give you on the bags of kibble is wrong. It's offering too much. You don't want to be able to see a tuck, and you want to be able to see 2 ribs on your basic dog. Anything than that, the dog is bordering on starting to be overweight. Overweight can cause a lot of issues, including early onset arthritis, hip issues, elbow issues, as well as shoulder issues, and of course the general, heart, circulatory, all that stuff.
Fucking check engine light goes off on your dog. That's what I heard right
Exactly.
there. Scalpel.
In addition to that, another thing is if you're somebody who's wanting to pet another person's dog, say do not pet my dog or do not approach or have anything like that on their dog, don't pet the dog. Don't bug them about petting their dog.
That is very true.
If they say, please don't touch my dog or please don't pet my dog, walk away. The
Wow.
Yep.
fact that people just seem entitled just to pet a dog because it's out in public is really irresponsible, and it's asking to get bit.
There's certain trainings that needs to be done to these types of animals, correct?
Yes, they can be owner trained, or trained by company. Either one is fine, but the dog has to be task trained. A lot of people are confused. I think that there's no questions that you can ask. There are 2 questions that you can ask. One of them is this dog task trained to do tasks, and is this dog trained to help with like a disability? If that dog does not fit in any of those 2 brackets, it's not a service dog. If the dog is barking at everybody, it's not a service dog. If the dog is pulling on a leash and not paying attention to its owner, its handler, like it's supposed to be doing, it's not a service dog. If a dog is sitting in a cart, for example, it can't exactly do its job in most cases, so it probably wouldn't service dog. In addition to that, there's been an uptick of people who go onto these websites, which is the most interesting thing. They'll go into websites and pay money for a little plastic card that says that the dog is a service dog, and it's not legitimate.
Hang on, your audio just got really robotic.
Whoa, yeah.
Try it now. Are you good?
Say something?
Yeah, you
Oh.
got out. It's not working.
It's not working now, yeah.
You want to try to like turn it off and turn it back on? Oh no. Hang on. Her audio didn't just. She's actually talking. It works. She's just talking on a frequency that only dogs can hear. We actually made a joke about this happening because she was talking about how her headset might die in the middle of it. It didn't die, did it?
I think it may have died because it's not blinking on her end here, so it's...
Well, she's seems like she could still hear us.
Everyone's like, oh, chihuahuas are so bad. Actually, chihuahuas are not supposed to be that bad. They probably wouldn't be that bad if their owners wouldn't torment them.
Dude,
Yes.
my aunt
Yes.
had this little white dog. Well, I say white, and that sounded racist, but it's just like, white-haired dog. So there's like this little white dog, and we used to call it the little white rat because it was so like ferociously just like a rodent in like my perspective. And
A rodent?
I was young, and I never told her that to her face, and my dad used to say it too, and my cousin. So we just had this inside joke where we would roast her dog, and Aunt Karen, if you ever watch this, I'm sorry, I love you, but your dog fucking sucked. Well,
Your dog's a fucking rat.
I thought I was gonna go. I thought I was gonna go a whole episode actually without referencing Peaches for the To Be Better podcast, but as you guys know, Peaches is my ex-wife, and she, when we were married, used to have a dog, and I took that dog one time to a dog park, and as you said, disease infested fucking fight. Bruh, the amount of fighting that was going on there, it was actually like WWE but dogs. Like, I would have imagined them picking up chairs and smashing them over each other's heads. It was
I kid you not. I kid you not. As soon as I pulled up with Jack, he didn't even get out of the car. As soon as I pulled up with Jack, I saw dogs fighting at the park, and I was like, yep, pulled right out and fucking went home. But I spent time with him outside. I let him run around, I let him play, I brought his toys outside, we're just chilling outside. I still gave him that playtime outside. I just didn't want to put him in that environment.
Right.
And in that situation to where he could potentially get into a fight, get hurt, or even catch a case or a body.
Do you have a dog to bone?
Exactly.
It's DMX.
Another prime example. I'll leave names out. My coworker. He has kind of like a mutt. And he brought his dog with him to the. I'll leave the store's name out as well. But he brought him to a pet store. Not like to buy animals, but like toys, food and all that. And he brought his dog to the pet shop, and they were walking around. The dog picked out a chew toy and everything like that. And the owner of the pet shop had their dog in a kennel, and the dog got out of the kennel and was barking and was very aggressive, and then charged at my coworker's dog and ended up biting him like above the eye and on the snout, and it left puncture wounds and stuff like that, and his dog had to go to the vet and all this, had to get medication, all that shit.
100% of that time, Louis was yelling at his coworker to sue the guy. Because Louis is the sue person. Like, he is always going for a good old lawsuit against someone that deserves it. This motherfucker here.
You give me the right opportunity, and I have lawyers in every type of law that there is. I got a lawyer, and Brandon's not lying. I did tell my coworker that he needs to sue that store.
I knew that was like the first thing out of your mouth, bro.
Have you ever came across an escape artist?
Yes, I had a Boston Terrier named Benji. And he figured out how to open the lift and latch kennels. And he would do it in 5 minutes flat. he would do it in 5 minutes flat. And so I would end up having to put him in the Roughlund kennels just because he could open all of the other ones. So I started putting him in the Roughlunds because it was literally the only kennel that I could keep him in.
Yeah.
And it was ridiculous. And then we had another dog. Her name was Nova, and I called her Itty Bitty Pitty Committee because she was like the tiniest little pitty mix you'd ever seen. She got out of every single kennel we put her in. We ended up, like the couple times she boarded with us, we ended up putting her up in like one of the separated dog room areas that we had, because we had cordoned off areas, like movable walls basically, that we could move to create separated play areas for like smaller dogs or bigger dogs, or say dogs in season, because we also took intact dogs and we didn't allow intact dogs to intermingle.
Gotcha. So it's like modular cubicles for dogs.
My Siberian Husky, okay, so I was a Cub Scout and a Boy Scout. My parents were all into it. My dad was the scoutmaster. We did it at like a Methodist church, and we had a shit ton of people. We used to go camping every week. And my Siberian Husky, I shit you not, he learned how to open the tent by grabbing the zipper with his mouth and lifting his head up and unzipping the goddamn tent. It was wild.
They'll find a way. They'll find a way.
They're smart. These working dogs are smart. I tell you what, they needed to be able to solve problems on the fly and by themselves.
So it sounds like a job interview for dogs.
More like these 3 border collies managed to keep a lost flock of sheep safe, unsupervised, with no help from their handler for a week while the herd was missing.
I actually seen videos of similar situations, and that's another reason as to why I would love. I mean, I don't have a farm. I don't have a. I have a
I have an apartment. I don't even have a backyard. That's why I don't have a dog.
I at least have a backyard and a front yard and a good neighborhood.
I want to branch off to the next segment really quick. Yes, I have a screwdriver and I am whittling it in front of my camera for no reason. Yeah, the next segment I want to do is I want to divert our attention to my stream that I had up on Discord. We have an expert here with us today. Can you tell me what is wrong with these dogs? Okay, I'm going to show you a few pictures of these dogs, and you tell me what is wrong with them. All right, what is wrong with this dog?
The fact that his zoomies would flatten a town.
Oh,
the dog is massive.
Yeah.
It would take millions of dollars to feed that dog for a year. That dog could be butchered and feed a country.
Do you think that would be like better for our tax dollars than Israel?
What?
I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole, my sir.
Right? Like, holy shit!
Listen, the life of Clifford the Big Red Dog, or, hey, Robert, Ayo Big Dog is in the chat. He called me Big Dog. This is part of the theme. Thank you, Robert. You kept it clean. So we have the Big Red Dog here, not Clifford the Big Red War Crime. All right, so we established what's wrong with Clifford. Good job. Next dog.
He's a walking red flag. He's a walking red flag.
What is wrong with this dog?
Well, he's on fire.
This one's been dead since the fucking bubonic plague. But I mean, let's just look at
undead dogs.
Look at its fucking posture while it's running. That just
okay. So if that dog bites another dog, will it make more zombie dogs?
We actually had a Madagascar custom zombies map, and all the dog rounds were replaced with fucking Marty the zebra, and it was so funny. It was so stupid. I had to play that again. I did it on a stream. I want to do an episode for that. All right, next dog.
Oh my god, that sounds great.
What is wrong with this dog?
So I think I can handle. Go ahead.
He'd actually be deaf in real life. Maybe. Depends on if it's a double merle and the merle length.
Bro, that's crypto.
No, that's a coat hat.
Oh.
Plus he flies and he's bulletproof. He wants a bulletproof dog. That dog's like, he's like, I'm done with your shit.
They're taking a picture.
He's like, I got it.
He's like,
I didn't even want to do this.
Crypto has white privilege. All right. Simple as that. White privilege. It's white.
Okay.
White privilege. Automatically the best dog ever. It's Superman's dog.
He's in a position of power.
Exactly.
He's in a position of power.
He's a tyrant. He's a tyrant.
White people are gonna be the majority in a few years. Calm down, guys. It's okay.
The majority?
No, I'm sorry. The minority. Statistically, white people are actually going to become the minority. Which, congratulations.
That one's for you guys.
Get it out of here. Okay, so that's all the dods that I had. I don't think I have any other dods. I was gonna do like a Brian Griffin maybe, but I just couldn't because I didn't have the time. At the time, I was shoveling pizza down after taking a 2-minute shower. So that was definitely different.
A 2-minute shower, boy! You did not clean yourself good
that's
enough.
Not true. I'm just like Sonic.
You did not. You did not get the hot spots.
No, I promise
You did not
like,
get the
you want
hot
a sniff?
spots.
I got you. Like
No,
I guarantee you.
I'm not going over to your house right now.
Did you clean your ass today?
Yes, I did, Louis. Stop it. Stop it, Dad. What the fuck, bro? And I'm keeping the Dodd theme here, but do you play D&D?
Yes, a little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit. We play. Haven't played as much as we like, but we do play.
And how has that been going?
It's been going. We have 2 campaigns going on right now. We have like a pirate one going on, and then an evil Santa Claus one.
Evil Santa Claus? What's Evil Santa Claus about? Like, what? Why is he evil?
Okay. So far in the game, there's like it's a wizard who's been murdered, but he used forbidden magic to bring toys back to life, and so there's like a Barbie doll, but she's like a fighting warrior, like an Amazonian like action figure. Okay, and then there's like a Barbie doll, but she's like a princess. And then there's a teddy bear, but the teddy bear's been slowly like he's an actual teddy bear, and if you squeeze him, it says "I love you." Most of them, my character's a rat character, which was a template that another player had created that I used to build the character for.
That's cool.
But I have a little like this sized rat, like a gnome sized rat creature. And then there's all these animate toys, and they're all trying to help each other try and figure out who killed the wizard, but it's Santa because he doesn't like competition.
Did you use like a Warforged to like template for those toys or something? Like, what did you do for that?
Honestly, I'd have to ask my husband about that because he's the one that found them. I found the rat template by Google.
In the past, I do remember
Oh
you
my good
actually
boy.
inviting me to play a One Piece themed D&D campaign.
Boy.
We haven't even started it yet.
That's fine because like I mean I'm sure Angel would love to play too.
We have an entire book written for the game. We have an entire playbook written for the game, which has the details of everything, where the islands are, has a map. It has
race questions. I need to know if I can play like a mink or a seraphim.
It's all on PDF. Next time he walks his booty in here, because he's done out there dealing with the kids and stuff. Next time he walks his booty in here, I'm gonna ask him about it because I think it's just on PDF right now.
Have you ever heard of a blink dog from D&D?
Like a blink dog?
Yeah.
Like
Here, let me pull it up on stream.
The name is familiar, and the name is familiar, and I remember it from Magic the Gathering. Yeah, that's from Magic the Gathering.
Yeah, they have it in D&D as well. It's actually in the monster manual then.
Yeah, okay, that's from the D&D set.
So I was actually gonna bring this up because if Blue skidooed and we can too, does that mean Blue from Blue's Clues is a blink dog? Back to dogs, what are like some food brands that you should avoid?
Okay, so like depending on who you ask, you're gonna get a lot of different answers, and I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of different answers popping off in that chat when I say this. Feed the dog in front of you. When it comes down to what your dog should and shouldn't eat, sometimes dogs are really picky. Sometimes it's really hard to get your dog to eat regularly, to eat a certain kibble on a regular basis. So a lot of people end up struggling to even just keep basic weight on their body. So my philosophy is feed the best that you can afford that your dog will actually eat. I've always really liked raw feeding, but it can be very tricky. It shouldn't be attempted unless you have the guidance of a veterinary nutritionist to make sure that it's balanced. That's the biggest issue with that a lot of vets have with raw diets, is that they're not balanced. If
Mhm.
they're balanced, they get proper organ, they get proper bone, they get all that stuff. It's a great way to feed your dog. It really is. It's also extremely expensive.
Wait, like raw food, like
There
raw
are some
diet?
butchers where you can get, yeah, like a raw diet.
But I always thought, eating raw meat was just bad for you. What makes it different for dogs? How is like eating raw meat not bad for dogs?
Dogs have an extremely strong acid in their stomachs. They have an ability to break down a level of bacteria that we humans do not. This came from where they evolved from, when they evolved from wolves who would eat raw meat on a regular basis. They're carnivores. They need to have those strong acids in order to break down bacteria and things that would make them sick.
That was my last question for
Basically, their
you.
stomach acids allowed them to eat. For where dogs evolved from, which is from wolves, they would go through, and they were both, hunters and opportunistic scavengers. So not only would they kill their own food, but they would also try and steal or scavenge other predators' meals. Meaning that they needed to be able to have strong stomachs that could break everything down, including the things that we as humans can't digest. Because when us humans started really sitting down and eating meat, um, as far as my understanding, because my knowledge of human evolution isn't as strong,
Mhm.
but from my understanding, we didn't really eat meat religiously until we got fire and started cooking it.
That's so eye opening. That was a perfect explanation. Different acid in your stomach. The dog is a xenomorph.
A dog can look at us and understand what we're feeling by seeing our face. We can point at something, and our dogs will instinctively follow our fingers.
Right.
We tell our dogs to focus, they'll meet our eyes. You try and do that stuff with a wolf, they don't grasp it like a dog does. Yes, you can train a wolf. I'm not saying
Mhm.
you can't train a wolf, but there are certain things that wolves either don't grasp or they have a harder time grasping because they were never domesticated and they didn't evolve beside us like dogs did. Dogs were they literally evolved and developed beside us and then were selectively bred to be our companions. So their whole existence is for us. They exist for us.
So that
Perfect.
was a very eye opening episode. I didn't know that was gonna be so in depth. Like, thank you so much for coming on this week.
Yes, of
Really do
course. Yes.
appreciate it. Do you have any final words?
Other than that, just shop for the dog that fits what you need, whether you get it from a reputable breeder or a reputable rescue. Make sure that the dog you get fits your family.
Always take care of your animals and never be a bad person and abuse them. Thank you for watching this week's episode of the Talk Bots. That was it.